Honourable member from New Haven, Rocky Point.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Sometimes I get asked what my job is all about, and it's a tricky question to answer. I've yet to come across a clear and accurate job description of what the role of an MLA actually is. We do a lot of things, and for simplicity, sometimes I explain my job and put it in 3 buckets. In the first bucket, let's call it the ceremonial one, we attend community events and we perform various duties expected of folks in our position. Remembrance Day last week, for example. Bucket number 2 contains our constituency work, which occupies, honestly speaking personally, a lot of my time and energy. We deal with a wide variety of issues and concerns that are brought forward from our constituents. Bucket number 3 deals with our legislative work, where, as one of only 27 islanders with the privilege and responsibility, we bring forward and consider and vote on the laws that govern this province. Although that last bit is perhaps the part of our job that takes up least time, I would argue that it is, in many respects, the most important aspect of our lives as MLAs. The laws of this province guide us in so many critical ways, and they shape, for better or worse, the future character, development, and possibilities of this place that we love so much. It is our duty as elected representatives to pass the best laws that we possibly can, as I said yesterday during debate, to serve all islanders over time. The concept of elected representation is that we, as individuals who sit in this House, are representatives of the folks who voted us here. That's why I'm not here under my own name. I'm here as New Haven Rocky Point. Our first duty is to those islanders to listen to their voices and to accurately reflect their concerns and collective opinions here in the House. We also have a personal responsibility to address and assess each piece of legislation as it comes forward, and to consider whether we feel as individuals it is as good as it can be. Many of the bills that come through this House are admittedly of limited consequence, but some are of huge importance and require that we each individually come to our own conclusions on its merits. We were told yesterday by the Premier that his caucus does not use whip votes, and I must, as I've always done, take him at his word. That means that every single one of the government members made up their own decision when they all voted identically that the Mental Health Act was as good as it could be. In my previous working life, I gave a talk at conventions across the country called The Happy Dentist. And at the very end, I summed up my presentation and my advice on seeking contentment by saying, think for yourself and live for others. Think for yourself, or don't be told what to think and do. Take the time and put in the work to truly understand things and to make up your own mind. And live for others. Live a life of service. Personally, I've always found that the deepest satisfaction and delight that I have had in my life is in serving others. I always want to leave this House at the end of each day with my head held high. And yesterday, I have to tell you, Madam Speaker, I found that very hard to do. Yesterday, we failed islanders because we passed a bill that could have been better. And I challenge each and every one of my colleagues to ask yourself the question that I opened this statement with. What is this job really about? Thank you, Madam Speaker.